Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And hope you had some great tequila. I, of course, always do. So I'm just coming off today of doing a review for a brand new brand that's just out. They only have a Blanco and a Repo out so far, but the Añejo is already on their website, but it's not ready yet. It's Santaleza. So I just did the review of this today. If you haven't checked it out on the Tequila Hombre channel, great stuff. Comes out of a little distillery called Bonanza. And if you haven't heard of it, you may have tried one of their other tequilas before. Libelula is one of them, which is a really nice Joven. I like it a lot. And then also Kokoro is made out of there as well. So they only do a few brands. It's the gentleman that owns it is the son of the CEO and owner of Casa San Matias, Carmen Villarreal. And if you don't know who she is, I did a live stream with her on the Tequila Hombre channel, so you can check it out. And then we're going to have her on again here within the next couple of months, because we're going to, for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, they're doing a special 135th anniversary, because it's the 135th anniversary of their distillery. They're doing a 135th anniversary Añejo, which is some really special stuff. And so I'm getting a bottle of it. They're gonna, because they're like my Mexican family. I love them, know the people very well at the distillery. So they're sending me a bottle to do a review on and talk about, and then they're going to come on and talk to us about this special project and kind of things that they did. That should be really cool, a lot of fun. So she's actually going to be a guest here on the Hombre Cave. We're going to do all the live interviews and stuff here, but I'll do the review of the 135th anniversary Añejo on the Tequila Hombre channel. And then it's an exclusive. We're going to get first access to it for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So those of you that are members of the collective, you're going to get access to the special Añejo. We'll be the first in the country to get it. But then it should be available for everybody else after the first couple months or whatever, because then we get first access and then it goes open to everybody else. So, and then we're going to arrange for special pricing and stuff too, because they're my peeps. I know them very well. And so this little distillery, Bonanza, is literally, you open up the side gate to leave Casa San Matias and you walk right in to Bonanza. It's like connected to it. And then Casa San Matias actually helps them with things like bottling and stuff like that. So they kind of work together. It's her son's distillery. So they help them out with things. But it's a really small distillery. They don't do any additives or anything like that. All their processes are solid. They just have a Tahona. They have one brick Orno, and it's one big stainless steel pot still, and wooden vats for fermenting. So they use great processes there. And their son, he's got a really good eye for and a good palate for tequila. So I've never had anything bad that he's done out of there. So I've been was very excited to hear about this brand. Now, the people that own this brand or are running it now is Chopin, which they handle Terralta tequila for Felipe Camarena, and they also do like Coke, mezcal and stuff like that. But this is actually going to be this is their brand, so they're now have their own brand that they're going to represent as well. So this is actually their brand. So that's kind of cool that they're doing that, and they picked a really cool distillery to do it with. They could have gone with a bunch of the other ones that do the contract stuff, but I like that they picked a small one that that sticks with the artisanal approach and does a good quality job. So I did this review today. I like it. It's good. I sat and drank with it a little bit more after the review, and it really opened up. Interestingly, I get more like of a chocolate and salinity, like brininess that came through on it, on the finish, on the Blanco, and then the Repo is just so creamy and easy to drink. I don't like to use the word, but for those of you that you say it or whatever, it's smooth. It was like really, really smooth. I mean, super easy to drink. No burn to it. It just went down so easy, and it just tasted so good. It's going to be a Repo I think people are going to really like. So I was really impressed with it. So we actually placed an order to bring it in to ferment and still. So we should have it there probably within the next week or so. So, but it'll definitely be one that that I recommend, and definitely one that I'll keep on the shelf here because I really did enjoy it. This Repo was going to be gone. I'll drink it, I'm sure, pretty quickly because it's just that good. So, let's check in with our subscribers now and see what's going on, because that's what we do here on. Hola, Rene Casillas. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Scott's posting the same message multiple times. Let's pick one. Fiesta Hombre. I'm really looking forward to your aging projects. I have 2 currently in the work and working on a 3rd with Cabernet instead infused beyond barrel staves. Nice. Good. Now, I'm not doing any updates on those today because I'm not feeling very well, and I just did getting over being sick, and I just did the tequila today, so I'm not going to update on those today. But in a future date, what I think I'm going to do is just pick one at a time and just kind of drink it and enjoy it and talk about it. But all of my projects are done. All the staves have been removed. I pulled them all out. They're going to be perfect. I'm not worried about them quality wise, but I can tell you what the tasting notes are. I know they're going to be fantastic because this is not the first time I've done aging projects. I've been using these staves for a couple of years now, and they're amazing. And so I know I'm going to get, I've got it nailed down to what I need to do in order to get good results. The only thing that's different is the new experimental wood that he sent me, which we'll do a comparison of. I've got that all off and everything, so that should be good. So, but yeah, if you haven't grabbed your Beyond Barrel aging staves and started your projects, you should do that. I'm going to start some new projects, so keep looking for the videos on those. I'm going to try to do some really cool, interesting things. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm actually using the Beyond Barrel aging staves to age my wine that I'm making. I have a Cabernet Sauvignon and a Chardonnay in the secondary fermenters right now, and I have wood in there soaking in them. So what I'm going to do though is it's probably going to be 4 or 5 weeks. I'm going to have the wood sitting in the Cabernet Sauvignon, and I'm just going to do I'm going to do a Diablito Rojo clone, where I'm going to pitch a fresh French oak barrel stave into the tequila and let it sit for, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 weeks. And then what I'm going to do is take the stave from the wine, and when I pull it out of the wine, when the wine's done, which will probably be 3 or 4 weeks anyways, it might just go right into the bottle. But if not, what I may do is put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it wet, because I want that Cabernet to be in there. I don't want to dry it out. And then I'll take the French oak stave that's in there, the new one, out, and I'll drop the one that I used in the wine into it and let that go for a couple of weeks. And that should be just like doing a clone of the Diablito Rojo, which I think is going to be really good. So So that's one of the projects I'm going to do here coming up in the next few weeks. Although from Dayton, going to be a good one for sure. Let's get after it tonight. Yeah, let's do it. I like your attitude, Brian. Brian's ready to go. I love that. Hey, Ivan. Hola. Did you get your samples, right? I got your note. You did get your samples. Okay, good. You got your bottles. Cool. Hi, all. Hope everyone's doing great tonight. From Jan in Florida. How you doing, Jan? Bienvenido. Welcome. Hey, Shaman showed up tonight. Yeah, party's definitely going to be happening. Good evening, Hombre. Great Santaleza review. Looking forward to trying them. Oh, nice. Good. I'm glad you're looking forward to trying them. They're really good. I was impressed by them. So, and then if you guys haven't seen the review yet, you got to check it out, because there's a tour of the distillery built into the review. So you can actually see what this little distillery looks like, which is pretty cool. So hopefully you guys have all checked out the review for Santaleza Tequila, but it's really good. Hi, all. Winfred, how you doing? Bienvenido. Welcome. I agree. I really like the Santaleza Repo. It's still, you've tried it. Oh, good. Yeah, it is delicious. Yeah, it's really good. It's going to be something that I think is going to be on my shelf. Definitely will be back in one of the shelves back here, and will be something that I drink and share with friends, because it was so easy to drink. I think people are going to really like it a lot. It's going to be one that people are going back to after they try it. Now, it's not the best repo I've ever had or anything like that, but it's solid. It's really good. And the pricing on it's pretty reasonable. It's not like super expensive or anything. So, hey, hola, Quicksilver. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you can make it. We got all the good, cool people here tonight. Hey, and if you're new to the channel and haven't sounded off yet, come say hi, jump on, and let us know you're here. Let us say hi to you. Everyone here is really cool. We have a really good group of people. Everyone's pretty positive. And we're just here to learn and talk and share ideas, and it's a good, really nice community. So, welcome to the Hombre Cave. That's what we do here at the Hombre Cave. There's no bickering, no fighting, no negativity. Things within the cave are friendly and nice, and we try to keep it that way. Oh, thank you, Scott. Yes, click the like button, you guys. There's 19 people on here. Just click that thumbs up button for me. Give me a like. Share the love. Renee says word. There you go. Cool. So, some of the things that are going on right now, the Carrera 54 is in process, should be coming in this month. The Yayo Reposado single barrel got delayed. It's going to be next month. For those of you that are in the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, those are the updates for that. If you're not in the collective, I'm sorry. You should join because it's some really good, great tequila. And some people have the idea that everything's going to be really expensive to buy. No, most of this stuff is pretty inexpensive. It's pretty really reasonably priced, like under $100. So you'll be able to stock up on some good stuff for fairly good prices. And then there's like one thing that's going to be more pricey, and then the San Matias, the 135th anniversary, that one's going to be expensive because that's a super special añejo. So that one's going to be really, 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 really good. So, EBA 101's here. Hey, all right. He finally showed up. We were wondering where EBA 101 was. Glad you can make it, EBA. Hey, Kenny. Sorry. No, I'm feeling okay. I'm just getting over this thing, and I haven't been able to shake it yet. And the weather's been really bad here, so it's not helping. It's been really cold and raining and wet, and so when that happens, my allergies flare up. And if I don't stay on top of it, because I'm an asthmatic, I get bronchitis and really bad sinus infections and stuff. So I try not to do anything that's going to adversely affect my immune system when I'm fighting something like this. So I'm just drinking water right now. I had my tequila earlier on in the afternoon when I did this review, but I didn't want to drink any more today. I'm just going to kind of let it go so I can get over this thing, not have this cough, and then we can do our normal stuff like I normally do, and have my tequila and stuff that I enjoy at night with my cigars and stuff. So I do love. Oh, we got to do some cigar content. I keep meaning to get cigar content going, but we're going to do that. And I know some people have been asking too about the Lego City. We're working on getting that thing set up too. So we're going to have some more great content here for things on this channel. But cheers. Hey, Andy Scott, glad you could join us tonight. Bienvenido, welcome. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is, for some reason, people have this idea about autoclaves, and I don't know, did I talk to you guys about autoclaves before? I think I did, right? Didn't I? Well, for those of you that weren't here and didn't see it, autoclaves are not a bad thing. For some reason, I'm like, oh, I talked about how I didn't like something, and someone said autoclave, and it's like, no, look, autoclaves make good tequila. It uses steam just like a brick Orno. They're practically the same thing, except one's a stainless steel tube and one's uses brick. They use steam for both of them, and they both do the same thing. They both cook the agave. It's just one's in a stainless steel tube that can be pressurized, and one's in a brick building that can't be pressurized, but it still uses steam. Actually, if they wanted to pressurize it, they could close the vent up on the top and pressurize it a little bit, but they don't do that. So it's steam. It's still cooked the same thing. It's like cooking with fire, you know, with cooking with, or cooking, having a gas grill versus a, I don't know, another a Weber, a Charboy gas grill and a Weber gas grill, and saying, oh well, the Charboy grill is better because it's Charboy. You know, it's using the same fuel. It's using propane or whatever. So it's the same kind of thing with autoclaves and brick ovens. They both use steam. They both have big steam boilers that create the steam, and they pump the steam into the autoclave, or they pump it into the brick Orno. So don't blame autoclaves for things. If there's a tequila that's bad, it's not because the autoclave, it's because of the processes that are used in the making of the tequila, but not the cooking of the agave. And if someone says they can taste the autoclave and something, that's the biggest pile of crap I've ever heard in my life. You cannot taste an autoclave versus a brick oven. Now, majority of the flavor actually comes from fermentation. So if you don't ferment the thing right, you can get some really jacked flavors in your distillation. So fermentation is the key. That's the part that's the most important. But not a lot of people pay attention to the fermentation. They just let it go. And so that's where you get the hotness that you're pulling out if you don't ferment it at the right temperature and your yeast that you're using isn't the right yeast. It can produce all flavors. It can make it hot. It can do all kinds of things that is going to give you a bad tequila when it comes out of the still. So the key is following fermentation and make sure you stay on top of things, using the right yeast, and then also maintaining temperatures and watching how it's finishing, and checking your readings and stuff the whole entire time. You do that, chances are very good that the tequila is going to be in good shape and you'll be fine. But you don't. You just rush it real quick. You throw some turbo yeast in there, whatever. That's what a lot of the distilleries like Cuervo and stuff do. They throw turbo yeast in there, which is a fast fermenting yeast, which ferments it in like 24 hours. And it just produces a bunch of off flavors, like real sulfur notes and stuff like that come through on it. And so then they distill it using a column still, which takes every bit of alcohol out, and then they flavor it and water it down and crank it out as tequila. So, so it's good. It's good. I mean, it's fermentation's the key thing. Autoclaves are fine. Don't worry about autoclaves. Don't blame autoclaves for things. Diffusers are a different story. There's actually no cooking going on with those, and those produce funkiness. But then normally associated with the diffuser, you have the turbo yeast, and then also a column still for distillation. So column stills are an issue too. That's a thing that you got to look at, that can not produce as good a spirit as a pot still, and doing like a copper pot or pot still with a stainless steel still with a copper coil, or just even a stainless pot still. Some people don't like to use the copper in there because sometimes it imparts a metallic flavor and stuff on it. But so that's it. Don't blame autoclaves. They're not bad. So I just wanted to get that out there because people keep commenting and asking me about autoclaves. Out of the Bonanza Distillery, what is your opinion on Ana Maria Tequila Rosa? I think it's good. It's aged in a wine barrel, and it's got really nice wine notes to it, but I enjoy it. I think it's fine. I haven't had anything bad out of Bonanza. So how about the duration of the cook, fast versus slow? No, not really. Not really. Because the duration of the cook only has to really do with when they're dealing with it with whether it's under pressure or not, when you're talking about autoclave. So when they say high pressure autoclave, you're still using steam, right? The only thing you're doing is you're getting it into the middle of the pack faster. So that's the thing, is when you don't pressurize it and you have that big pile of agave, everything's got to heat up and generally heat each other up and stuff till it gets to the middle. Where when you do pressure, it's like using the pressure cooker, right? It still gets to the middle, just faster, because you put pressure on it and it forces it in through the agave and stuff. So it doesn't hurt the fact that it's cooked quicker. And another thing too, El Tequileño, right? Everyone likes El Tequileño. They make great tequila. That's an 8-hour cook, right? Cascanes, everyone likes Cascanes. That's an 8-hour cook. So both of those are considered high pressure because they're 8-hour cooks. They're shorter cooks. Now, yeah, Cascanes' pressure in their autoclave isn't as strong as El Tequileño's is, because El Tequileño's autoclave could eat 4 of Cascanes'. Cascanes' autoclave is really small, so they doesn't need a lot of pressure to cook the agave that are in there, where El Tequileño's is like 4 times the size, 5, actually probably bigger than that, 5 or 6 times the size of Cascanes' autoclave, so it needs more pressure in order to cook a bigger batch of agave in it. So, but it's 8-hour cook, and it does great. Now, if they don't want to put pressure on it, they can cook it for 20 hours and make sure the hydrolyzing is done, and then they move on from that. So they just basically let check after they're done cooking to see that everything's been cooked, everything's been hydrolyzed, because it just all they really need to do is get it to a certain temperature, and that's it. And then the hydrolyzation happens. So it doesn't matter as long as everything's thoroughly cooked. That's all they got to do. And then if they can do it in 8 hours, that's great. If they do it in 20 hours, that's great too. Okay. Hey, the one. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you can make it. I'm doing great. I hope you're well. Everything's well with you as well. So, okay, here's a left turn. Have you ever used your used staves on the grill for smoking? No. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't understand why you would do that. Oh, you're hoping that it'll impart flavors and stuff on it? No. Anything that's in that wood is going to be gone as soon as it heats up. Everything, alcohol and everything's gone. It's not like cherry wood or anything, or mesquite or anything like that. It's not like it's going to flavor anything. And plus, it's oak. I mean, why would you want to use oak in the grill? It's just, no. I wouldn't do it. You can do it if you want. I wouldn't do it. I have mesquite and stuff like that in my smoker, and I've got the pellets. I have a pellet smoker, and that works great. I'm not putting any wood staves in my in a grill and stuff to smoke meat. So, what is that? A high E. A high E. Okay, I don't know what that. All right, so yeah, I wouldn't do that. But I'm going to do some new aging projects though, and get some new ones started. I just need to think about what I want to do. I want to be really creative with them. I want to do a Fortaleza, another Fortaleza Extra Añejo. I drank all of my Fortaleza Extra Añejo, and I do have. Here we go. I do have a Fortaleza Blanco that I can throw a stave in. So I'm going to do a Fortaleza Extra Añejo definitely as a next project. Let's see. There you go. There you go. And this is everyone's like, oh, this is the 100B. I'm going to age the shit out of that one. I'm going to turn it into an Extra Añejo because I like my Fortaleza Extra Añejos. What is this? A high-end bar in LA used the staves when they were finished to smoke cocktails that were aged in the same wood. It gave off very unique smoke aroma. There you go. Well, using it for cocktails is different than throwing it in the grill, because when you use it for cocktails, you use that smoker machine thing, and it creates the smoke, and they just pump it right into the cocktail or whatever. I wouldn't throw it in a grill, though. But you know, when you look at when they use those smoker things, a lot of times they use mesquite chips and stuff like that. They use like wood that you would use for a smoker. They don't use oak. Oak is not normally a good wood for smoking. Normally it's mesquite, or it's what's the other ones? There's a bunch of cherry wood, apple wood. There's a bunch of different woods that they use for smoking over oak. I recently had some tequila that I know doesn't taste bad, but this time it tasted weird. Well, what do you mean by weird? Because, you know, each batch is different, so it's never going to be the same from batch to batch. But if you have a batch you don't like, make sure you write down the batch, and then when you go to buy another bottle, check the batch and make sure it's not the same batch. Send some samples. Well, if I do one, I'll send samples out. I can give samples out when I do it. Peach? Oh yeah. I don't know. I've never used peach for smoking, so I don't know. Normally it's like apple wood, cherry wood, mesquite. I forgot some of the other ones. But I've never seen peach wood or used peach wood. But if you have a smoking machine where you can smoke cocktails, try it in that. That sounds like a good idea, but I wouldn't throw it in a grill. A grill's not going to do you any good. Not enough of it. You'd have to have like 30 or 40 of them on the grill to try to get any flavor out of them. Throwing a stave on the grill. I use them. I would never burn it anyways. I just use it again and keep using it. I mean, this is a perfect thing. Even when it's depleted, you can drop it in bourbon and stuff and get it to soak up all the bourbon, and then use that as your bourbon aging stave. When you want a more robust bourbon flavor or something, you know, do like I'm doing with the Cabernet stave, where it's going to lose all of its goodness in the Cabernet, but it's going to get filled with Cabernet. And then when I toss it into that Blanco that has the French oak in it, I'm going to turn it into a Diablito Rojo. So, and it'll have all that strong, nice, beautiful French oakness from the new French oak stave that I'm putting into the tequila. So it should be really good. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video on the Tequila Hombre channel, kind of introducing the home aging aspect and stuff, and try to draw more people over for us to help with doing some more projects and stuff, to see what people are doing. And if you're doing a project right now, let us know how it's doing. Sound off. Tell us about your project. Tell us what you're doing with it. You should be tasting it every week. What was the last taste? What were your last tasting notes like? You know, how much longer were you going to give it? Let's hear you guys that are doing aging projects right now. Let's hear you guys comment and tell us how your projects are going. I know Scott said he's got 2 of them going on right now. Have you tasted them? How long have they been with the staves in there? And are they seasoned? I think you said Cabernet, but I don't know if you're using all of them with Cabernet. But how are they tasting after the first week and stuff? How many weeks have they been? You know, let's hear your updates. I want to hear what's going on. So start commenting. Here we go. Let's do it. I gave you guys updates on mine when they were in the in the bottles. They're out. They're all done now. They're all just sitting marrying right now. But I want to hear your updates. These aging projects are really cool. The fact too that since the añejos and stuff are getting so expensive, this is a great way of being able to really make añejos you're going to like and not have to pay the high prices and stuff for them, because you can just buy the staves and make it yourself. And when you get to the point where it's like, okay, this is great, then take it out and enjoy it. And then you can keep notes on what you're doing, and then you can duplicate it every time. Does tequila age quicker with the staves? If it's a higher ABV, seems to get darker. Not sure if that's just the stave. Yeah, no, they get higher. The more higher the alcohol content, the more oils and stuff it pulls out of the wood. So definitely, because it's a more of a solvent, so the higher proof, the quicker, the more it'll pull out of the wood, the faster. So yeah, definitely the higher proof, and that's why when they barrel tequila, generally, in most cases, it's a higher proof. It's still strength when they put it in and then they dilute it down when it comes out of the barrel. The only brand that really doesn't do that I know of is El Tesoro, but they still goes in a little higher than still strength, so that it comes in like at 42 normally, and then and that way it draws what it can out of the barrel. But if it was a higher proof, I think it would probably draw more out of the barrel. So definitely. So yeah, but it will. It doesn't age quicker, but it takes more out of the wood faster. What is this? Yep, I tried apple and cherry wood. I'm going to try the French oak tequila infused to Steve. Will let you know. I know it's oak. Oh, you're talking about smoking still? I'm talking about aging projects. Tell me about your aging. I don't care about the smoking stuff. Well, let's hear about your aging projects. I wouldn't throw a stave on the grill. I wouldn't use it for food. But what you do is, your own business. Let's talk about the aging projects and tequila, not burning your staves. So, what's going on with the aging projects? How are your aging projects coming along? What are you doing? How many weeks has it been? What are the tasting notes like? I want to hear what's going on. To share with everybody. We're supposed to share with everybody. Turn a little music on here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because I did, for my aging projects, you guys already know what I did. I did a French oak that was soaked in port with Viva Mexico. I did French oak, just straight up, I think. Yeah, just straight up. I did American oak that was seasoned with sherry in Carrera tequila. I did G4 Madeira with the new higher end French oak stave versus a regular French oak stave. I did a Pasote with Maker's 46, and I did I think it was Maker's 46 on the Pasote, right? Yeah, Maker's 46 on the Pasote. And then I did one with Blanton's. What did I do with Blanton's? It was I forget which one I did with Blanton's. But you look at the this is the Carrera with the sherry, American oak with the sherry. Look at that. Yeah, this stuff's gonna be amazing. I'm letting it marry because the flavors, when you let it sit and rest in the bottle, the flavors will kind of just mellow out a little bit and meld together and kind of get beautiful together. And so I'm kind of letting that do that right now. I'll give it a few weeks before I start drinking them. This is the Viva Mexico with the French oak, with the sherry, or the port. Sorry, port. Here, see, port. French oak port. Look at the color on that too. Look at it, beautiful. And it's the best tasting Yale like ever. What is that? If someone wants to buy 100 staves to use on the grill, I'll definitely fill that. Yeah, of course you will. I mean, you'd sell them whatever they want to do. But that's some good wood to use to burn. My career with the cherry stave is going to sit for a while. My G4 Madeira French oak is just 4 weeks. So I'm going to pull the stave probably tomorrow. Have you tasted it yet? Taste it. Pull it out right now and taste it. I want to hear what's going on. Let's hear it. Taste it now? Yeah, taste it. Yeah. My G4 110 in American Oak with the Suntory AO is just a month also. Probably gonna pull it. Well, you gotta have you been tasting these every week? You gotta taste them every week to see where they're at. Taste it and see if it's like where you want it. Shaman says he has 2 aging projects going, both Ocho Blancos. One oak Blanton seasoned, the other oak soaked in McCarthy's sherry cask whiskey. Been going for 2.5 weeks. Going to try and make both of them añejos. Good. Have you tasted them yet and see where they're at so far? I'd like to hear where your tasting notes are. Both American Oak number 3 chars. If I can wait that long, I'll start sampling week 4. Okay. Well, you should sample every week. Take a little bit. You take a little, order some pipettes off of Amazon and just take a little pipette and dip it in and pull a little bit out and taste it, see where it's at, so you know you're getting something that you like. Although, Shaman, you've done aging projects before, so you kind of know where the sweet spot is for you. But the G4 Blanco with French Oak number 3 looks like an añejo. I'm waiting till Saturday to try it again. It's been aging since 2018. Last time I tried that one, it had a really nice oaky vanilla taste. Oh, nice, good. So you're gonna give it until the Saturday. And then you're going to try it again, and then are you pretty much going to pull it then, or let's see, it's been aging since 2018, so that's how long is it? Almost 3 weeks, so it's about He says, I have a bit of Fortaleza Blanco with French Oak number 3 that I soaked in a double barrel whiskey before putting it in the Fortaleza on 225, waiting until this Saturday to try it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fairly new. It's only been in well, no, actually it's been about 3 weeks. You should try it every week to see where it's at, especially with the a double barrel whiskey, because I've had people complain that after they used the double barrel whiskey, it was over oaked because there's just so much oak in the double barrel whiskey to start. So that one, when you use a double barrel whiskey or something, it's always good to try it every week to make sure it doesn't get too much oak, because you already started with double oak in the whiskey. So just a suggestion. You're thinking of pulling out this Saturday for the okay. Well, we want to hear what how it is and what the tasting notes are and stuff. Winfred says he pulled my French Oak stave from my G4 after 4 weeks 10 days ago. It's right where I like. Oh, perfect. Good. Is this the first time you've aged with the stave, Winfred? Have you done it before? Or was this your first aging project? And if so, how would you say it is compared to what you've gotten from distillery before? I think they're better than what the distillery does, because of course you're using a better quality wood than what the distillers use. They use cheap barrels normally, but using fresh wood like this, it really bolsters the flavor profile, and I find it to be actually more enjoyable for me than using what comes from the distillery. So I'm not at all opposed to just buying Blancos and aging them myself. I have quite a good experience with aging my stuff here at the house that I enjoy. Even I have some really cheap and expensive blancos that I'll buy, and I already know how to age them with French oak and stuff to get a flavor profile that I really like. It's that El Velo stuff that I did. Those turn out great with French oak. And once you let them meld and kind of sit for a little while, it's beautiful. They're so good, so easy to drink. It has such a beautiful French oak flavor to it. Where if I try to drink El Velo on itself as a Blanco from its Confordia, it's got this really weird funky flavor. But when I use the aging staves and stuff, it takes all the funky flavor out. It ages that stuff out of it. So. The G4 Madeira has a little heat at the beginning, mellows quickly, very viscous, nice caramelish taste. I think it's definitely ready, and then let it sit for a week. Okay, now I got to go try the one. Oh, nice. Okay, good. So pull the stave out if you think it's ready. Yeah, let it sit and let it marry, let it meld, let it rest. It's your first time doing it, and it's better than most store-bought. Yeah, I agree. I think it is too. They work great. So it's a worthwhile investment, and then you can actually use it again too. You can use it a second time. It's just going to take a little more time, but they work out good a second time too. Plan on doing a bunch more aging projects this year. Price of good añejos is really climbed. Yeah, it's true. Thank Chris for the great staves and allowing us to be tequila mad. Exactly. Yeah, Chris is good for letting us do this. Carrera Blanco 21123 going long term, then going to infuse in Cabernet Diablito Rojo Mejia Extrañejo. What? You're gonna soak it in tequila? Cabernet infused 2 weeks, both number 3 French oaks. Haven't tried. Wait, Carrera Blanco 2 loads is going long term, then going to infuse in Cabernet. And you're also infusing it in Diablito Rojo and Mejia Extrañejo? What? I wouldn't just infuse it with the Cabernet and put that in. I wouldn't infuse it in tequila too. That kind of defeats the whole purpose. 3 French oaks I haven't tried. Okay. Well, taste it and see where it's at. See what you think. Can you post? Yeah, you get the staves. The website, you got to get a pen and paper out or something to type on or whatever. It's bbaging.com. bbaging.com. So aging.com. It's Beyond Barrel Aging is what it stands for. You see Beyond Barrel's commenting on here. That's the company that makes it. So it's bbaging.com. I tried both weekly. Haven't noticed major profile changes yet. Okay, cool. He might be aging first, then infusing it with cab, then putting it back in. No, he said it said it said Mejia Extraña and Diablito Rojo, which I wouldn't put him in tequila. Just do it the Cabernet and drop the Cabernet back in. But I wouldn't infuse them with tequila. But infusing with the cab is fine, and after aging and stuff, you want to do that. But Mejia is a nice extrañejo as it is, and it's not French oak though, so I don't know why you'd put it in a French oak thing. And then the Diablito Rojo is just too good to use for seasoning on an aging project. That is some gold liquid. You can try to remake it which it sounds like you're doing using the Cabernet stuff, but I wouldn't use that for seasoning. If that's what you're thinking of doing, just forget the tequila part and just soak it in the Cabernet and then drop that back into your Carrera after. But you want to make sure that a lot of the French oak stuff's good. So I'd give it at least 6 weeks in the Carrera, and then soak it in the Cabernet Sauvignon. Probably do it for a week, and then take it while it's wet and drop it back into the Carrera. Carrera has not changed much flavor profile. Have been trying weekly. Well, how long? It's only been, what, a few weeks, right? And you're using a fresh French oak? 211. How many weeks is that? 211's what? $211. It's 1, 2, 3 weeks. Yeah, that's interesting because mine, this was from 117. This was 4 weeks, and I mean, look at that. This thing's like, and it's this is American oak though, but yeah, it would be odd if the flavor hasn't changed yet after that long. Maybe you're not taking a big enough sample to try it. You might want to take a little bigger sample and, you know, swirl it around a little bit before you sip it. But it's definitely have a flavor change. Normally after 2 weeks, I notice a change in flavor. First week, sometimes a little bit of change in flavor, mostly color. Second week, I definitely can pick up a flavor change. So. If you're trying a stave for the first time, which one do you recommend trying first, and which Blanco? Use whatever Blanco you have. But I use both. I use both American and French oak, and just go number 3. So you can buy. There's like I think if you buy 4, your shipping's free or something like that. So I'd buy 2 of each to try and do some aging projects with those and see which ones you like the best. I like them both, so when I get them, I normally order, you know, both American and French. But the number 3 toast is the best toast, and it's you can use any Blanco. It doesn't have to be anyone in particular. If you're looking for inexpensive, you can get these. I'll show you the ones that I like a lot. This is the one I like to use when I'm looking like really inexpensive. This is El Velo. It's like 20-something bucks on ferment and still for a liter. And I just throw the stave in for a liter bottle. I do just throw a number 3 French oak in that thing for 4 weeks, and it turns out perfect. It's so good. And then you let it sit for a couple weeks afterwards. So yeah, yeah, nice straw color. Might be too picky for flavor profile. We'll let it age longer. Okay. I just tried the Fortaleza Blanco that I rested, the stave and double barrel Irish whiskey. It still has that strong pepper, heartburny taste. I can taste a little bit, but the French oak in it, I can taste a little bit of the French oak in it. Okay, cool. And how long has that been? That one's been like a few weeks, right? Just picked up 6 more from you and have many more projects to do. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot more projects too. So I'm even actually aging the whole entire wine. I got 2 buckets of grapes coming in this week that I'm going to do a fresh wine. And then all the aging that I'm doing for the wine is using these Beyond Barrel aging staves. So you don't have to just use it for tequila. You can use it for other things too, for wine, for cocktails. You can use them for a bunch of things. So, but I'm actually using them to barrel age my wine. I'm just using the staves in a glass carboy. So I think a couple more weeks it'll have more flavor going on, but the Fortaleza has a very strong cooked agave pepper taste to it. Yeah. Yeah, give it some time. It'll work in there. I have a Fortaleza. Let me see if I still have any extra Neo that I did left. Yeah, here. This was an extra Neo, Fortaleza extra Neo I did. This was French oak. But look at that. This is a French oak Fortaleza extra Neo. And I used the Still Strength Blanco for it. So this turned out great. This is a really good one. So this is my own personal French oak extra Neo Fortaleza. That's just amazing. Matter of fact, if some of you guys want to try a sample of this, I wouldn't be opposed to randomly picking somebody if you think I should, and sending off some samples so you guys can try it. So still gives you heartburn. Yeah, that's because of the whiskey. You just got to let it marry in there a little bit. What is it? If you're looking for something, if you're looking for something to do, Mark, you can try a side by side with the number 3 versus 1 versus the number 3 in the experimental. Okay, yeah, I've got the what you gave me the experimentals of those. I've got those. I'll do a side by side on that. Going for the Diablito Rojo on the Carrera. Yeah, so just let the French oak go. I'd give it, if it's not changing much flavor on it, give it 6 weeks. And then taste it again. And then if it's good at 6 weeks, go 8. Give it 2 more. And then pull it out and then soak it in the... let it dry. Pull it out and let it dry. And then once it's dry, then drop it into your Cabernet Sauvignon and let it soak in there for a few days. I'd actually let it soak a week in the Cabernet Sauvignon until it, or if it soaks it all up, even better. And then drop that right into the Carrera and let it go for like 2 or 3 weeks. And you should be real close to the Diablito Rojo. The G4110 is really interesting. Not much heat at all. Has vanilla and slight pineapple fruitiness to it, which is interesting. I'm guessing that it's coming from the Suntory. This is going to be great. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds really good. I wish I could try some. Go to soak a stave in bourbon, and reading the bourbon label, it is finished with Japanese and French oak staves. Your thoughts? Hey, if you like the flavor, go for it. Experiment with it. That's one of the fun of doing this stuff is experimenting. But if it's super oaky and you're going to soak the stave in it for a while, and season it for a while, just keep an eye on it as you're aging it to make sure it doesn't get over oaked. All right, you could do some giveaways of those staves you use to age the wine, so people can more easily do a Diablito. Well, I want to do it myself. Why do I do a giveaway? You giving away my staves? I'm going to do it myself, and people can watch. I'll do it, and people can see it. So I'm not giving them away. That's my Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm going to use those staves to age stuff myself. Cool, dry, no sunlight, Wisconsin, inside, downstairs. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's good. Oh, you're talking about the Fortaleza? Yeah, but that was, I used the still strength Blanco for that, but it get dark. Yeah, you don't want it to be too cold. You want it to be like in the 70s. How many weeks did I let that sit? That one went for 6 weeks. If I want to share, you'll be a guinea pig. You want me to send you a sample? EBA says samples are always great. Now we hear from EBA 101. He's been quiet this whole time. Mejia is another project, but I wouldn't age anything in Mejia, though. Just drink Mejia. That's American oak barrels on that. So anytime you season in wine, make sure it's super airtight, especially if you go past 2 days or so since wine turns. Yeah, but I mean, if you put the wine in a bag and stuff, it's fine with soaking. You're just trying to get the flavor. You're not trying to, to keep it wine, because you just want the flavor. Is there a preferred temp or optimized aging? I would say keep it in above 70 degrees. Because with fermenting, you got to keep it above 70. So why not aging? The same thing. As long as you're above 70, you should be okay. You just don't want it. He's in Wisconsin. It can get down into the 30s. So I think, Shaman, you being in Oregon, you're probably, could probably keep it at 70 pretty easily. Keep it at room temperature in the house. You should be fine. All right. Chris says he'd prefer to do 2 days to age it, then repeat versus a week in wine. I prefer to go a week in the wine, or at least until it soaks all the wine up that's in the bag, and then drop that into the tequila. So you'll have two things to try and see which ones you get the better results for. I did port and sherry this time, although they're fortified, but if they can ship a barrel of Cabernet Sauvignon down to Mexico from Napa and not have it turn and be able to soak tequila and stuff in it, I think a week in a paper bag and some Cabernet Sauvignon should be fine. At the gym, go listing more. Oh, you're listing more than watch. Okay. Well, here, time to do your pecs now. So sit down. Let's do some bench presses, EBA. Let's work on those pecs. Have you ever thought about putting a tequila that has a stave in it in a wine fridge? I guess you could. I don't know why you'd want to cool it down, though. I keep it at room temperature. All of my aging projects sat here on my desk. In this office here, it's like, because I have like 2 supercomputers underneath here running all the processing for the live streams and for all the video and stuff that I do. It's like 76 degrees, 77 degrees here inside this, probably closer to 80 degrees inside this room. So it sat in here at room temperature, and it did great. So I would keep it warm. I wouldn't even try to cool it in a fridge. Keep it at room temp. Yeah, see, the cool temperature will slow it down. Yeah. We all like some samples. Okay. Well, I don't have enough samples for everybody. Ivan, you already got some samples, man. What did you think about the ones I sent you? Did you like those? I already sent samples to Ivan. I think he won the Fortaleza, right? Didn't he win the Fortaleza flight? 70 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit is probably ideal. Yeah, you don't want to start cooking the wood above 100. You don't even want to go 100. 100, that's rough. I'd say keep it between 70 and 75 degrees. I wouldn't even go 80 degrees with it. Anywhere close to 100, you're ridiculous. If you're trying to age tequila at that temperature, no, because alcohol is going to evaporate. Even you're going to be cooking your tequila. Keep it at between 70 and 75 degrees. I think you're probably good. Scott's in first. Okay, well, all these other people want samples, so maybe I'll pick somebody. Maybe Friday. Friday I'll give away a sample. I want to taste it again and see where it's at. It's been sitting here kind of mellowing out. I haven't tasted it in a while. You're not worried about the agave, you're just worried about the alcohol. Alcohol is volatile. It evaporates a lot faster than water does. And if you've ever put like tequila in a glass and had the glass sitting overnight after you drank some and didn't drink all of it, all that alcohol is gone when you wake up in the morning because it all evaporated. It's extremely volatile. So you don't want to heat it up too hot. I would go 70 to 75 degrees, right? In that area there, and you're perfect. Like that's where all these tequilas are at right now, probably between 70 to 75 degrees. All right, guys. Well, I want to hear about your aging projects, so keep us updated on them and let us know how things are going. If there's been an update on Friday, I want to hear about them. I may give away. I'm going to try the Fortaleza this week before Friday, and I'll let you guys know about the extra neo and how it's tasting. And if it's tasting really good, I may give away. So show up on Friday at 7 p.m. and I may give you send you a sample to try it. I mean, randomly pick somebody depending on who's there. How many people are interested? We may give out a few samples. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to go call it a night. Thank you all for coming and joining me today. Hopefully, if you haven't watched the review that I did on Santaleza, check it out. Also, I just did a really cool post on Instagram today too, so make sure you go check out the Instagram and give that a like. Don't forget to give this a like, the video a like. Click the thumbs up there. It doesn't cost anything to do that. And then I want to hear about those aging projects, so keep posting about them when we meet. And on Thursday, we're going to do a special live stream. So I'm not going to do one. I'm not going to do Q&A tomorrow. But on Thursday, I'm going to do a live stream at 7 p.m. where I'm going to do a private tasting live where he's going to be tasting some special tequilas blind. So you guys want to come watch that and ask him questions and stuff and participate in that? We'd love to have you come join us. It will be Thursday at 7 p.m. here on the Hombre Cave, okay? It should be really cool and neat experience for you guys to watch. So, shotgun the port aged Viva. Yeah. What is it? Good aging discussion, Hombre and group. Yeah, thanks, Shaman. Glad you enjoyed it. California, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Bienvenido, welcome, and then have que tengo buena noche. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro. Watch you later, man. Have a great night. Thank you. Yes, you as well. Thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for participating. I appreciate it. Peace out, Hombre. Yeah, get your work in, man. Get pumped, okay, EBA? Another great show. Thanks. Thank you, Quicksilver. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I got the samples waiting for the right time to open them up. Oh, nice. Okay, good. All right, guys. Well, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So keep listening to what I say on my reviews and stuff. Keep trying what I suggest. And even, try aging your own Blancos at home to make your own excellent añejos using the BB aging staves. And you guys will be in great shape. All right. We'll talk to you soon. See you Thursday. Remember, special edition Thursday. Blind tasting. He's going to have some really special tequilas that you can't find anymore. So they're going to be kind of cool to watch. So make sure you check that out Thursday at 7 p.m. Salud. Bye, guys.